University of Vermont Extension presents the Transferring the Farm video series. The information in this series is brought to you by University of Vermont Extension with funding from the Risk Management Agency, USDA. The Risk Management Agency provides sound risk management solutions for farmers. For more information, visit www.rma.usda.gov.
Hello, I'm Bob Parsons, University of Vermont Extension Ag Economist. In this segment of our Transferring the Farm series, I want to provide you with a sample farm business transition plan that may help you develop your family transition process. Numerous extension educators and lenders have worked with farmers over the years and have seen many family farm business transitions work and many fail. From these observations, I want to present some steps that we have observed to more likely lead to a successful transition. There are some things that should occur before a family member should return to the farm to join the family business. In phase one, they should have some post-high school education. It does not matter if the business education or technical production, but expanding education exposure to others is important. Also in phase one, work somewhere else for non-family for at least a year. It's important to learn what it's like to work for someone other than mom and dad. Another farm, away from home. Even the military provides the younger generation with a different view of the world. Phase two involves a trial work period of at least 1 to 2 years with mom and dad that ends with an honest evaluation by all parties. Business is business. Being of flesh and blood does not give one a right to be in the business. Deciding a business arrangement would not work does not expel them from the family. The toughest part for farm families is to separate business and family. It's not easy, but essential if the business is to remain viable. When evaluating the trial work period, you must consider the spouses and other children that may be involved in the business. This can be nerve-wracking if there are multiple children who want to be involved in the business and it's obvious that they will not get along. The family has some tough decisions to make. There are several other points that also reduce spousal and personal conflicts. Have the younger generation live out of sight of the parents' home. Any labor contributed by spouses and significant others is compensated by fair wages. If the business has multiple children involved, it may be best to let them own their own homes instead of being provided by the farm. Keep private affairs private. What matters are affairs that affect the business. All these recommendations can be difficult to practice, but remember, we are running a business as partners, not as parent and child. If the trial period works out, it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty of developing a roadmap for the entry of the younger generation into the farming operation. The third phase begins the path to management and ownership. This does not necessarily mean the planned departure or exit of the older generation. It is important that the younger generation have a roadmap to know what should occur and when. They are on the path to business partnership and possibly sole ownership. They are not signing on to be a lifetime laborer with a possible reward that they may be owners someday. One step that is quite common is that the younger generation is given some authority to make production or marketing decisions in at least one area of the business. No one learns if they are not given the opportunity to make mistakes. It also allows them to specialize and become the expert in one part of the business. For example, the younger generation could take over the livestock production, crop production, or some aspect of the marketing. Farmers who have experienced successful transitions say it's important to get the younger generation on the road to ownership by allowing them to start building equity in the business. And this should be considered as part of their total compensation. Having ownership makes them realize what they are building. Paying some amount, even at a discount, is also reported key to understanding the role of debt in building equity. Phase 4 involves advancing toward management and ownership. After a few years, the younger generation tends to take charge of at least one area of the farm business and needs to gain a view of the entire business. This often involves bringing them into the money side of the business if this has not already been shared. Get them involved in purchasing decisions, marketing decisions, and meeting with lenders. If they are to become the business manager someday, they must become aware of the financial constraints and challenges of the business. In numerous cases, we have seen farm business transitions fail at this point. The younger generation may be running the production side of the farm, but have never been brought into the financial side of the business. Some parents seem to do this for fear of losing control. Remember, the idea is for the farm to be a viable business. To be lasting, it has to be profitable, and owners need to understand the business finances where they stand. Remember, sharing does not mean stepping away. Successful transitions have a younger generation that realizes the older generation has knowledge and experience that money can't buy. Phase 5 is becoming majority manager and owner. In this phase, the older generation is scaling back due to age and possible physical infirmities. The younger generation has gradually taken over more decision-making and managing the business. Also, by this point, the younger generation operating the business is now a significant owner of the business. Land ownership often varies depending on strategic estate plans. What is common in this phase is having another generation beginning phase 1. It's also common in phase 5 to see the older generation still active in some part of the business, either operating equipment, operating the sales center, keeping records, or serving as a reliable walk-around manager, solving problems that arise from labor to mechanical to public relations. For farms to succeed in transitioning the farm business to the next generation, there seems to be one characteristic. These phases are followed in such a seamless manner that it's often difficult to determine when one ends and the other begins. Many of the operators in phase 5 cannot determine what year any stage began. For the older generation, they have gradually handed over management and ownership without feeling they were forced out. Successful transitions also have kept the business separate from the family. Growth is common, as all businesses need to grow to provide additional income for additional family members. No one is holding a job just because they're family. They have a business agreement that has been followed and adjusted as needed to meet changing market circumstances. These 5 phases are found to be common in successful transitions. It does not mean that this is the only way for success, but consider how they may work for you. Business transitions may take 20 to 30 years, so be sure that you make it as smooth as possible. I'm Bob Parsons with UVM Extension.